What's going on, guys? Aldrin Estacio here with FlytPath.com. Now, I haven't really done a video on the Osmo Pocket 2 for a little while now, mainly because they haven't really updated too many things on it. I've been using it on and off, but I haven't really had a major reason to make another full video on it. But they recently came out with a firmware update, and one of the major things, one of the gripes I had when they first released the Osmo Pocket was the use of this microphone not being able to monitor your audio from the actual camera itself if this is out there in the field. So finally they added that in this firmware update, as well as a bunch of other things. So in this video, let's go through all of those updates that they made on the new firmware. But first, a word from our sponsor, Epidemic Sound. So if you're looking at taking your content to the next level, Epidemic Sound has been my go-to source for all my music in my videos. Whether I'm editing drone footage, behind the scenes, or some of my vlogs, Epidemic Sound provides high quality, royalty-free music, so you never have to worry about copyright claims or losing monetization on your videos. They have a couple plans to choose from, whether it's a personal plan for most content creators, or if you want to get the commercial plan, mostly geared towards those freelancers and businesses. Both plans give you access to over 32,000 songs in their library, as well as all of their sound effects. So if you want to enhance your video with better sound design, make sure you guys check the links down below in the video description for a no commitment 30-day free trial of Epidemic Sound. And now, back to the video. And before we get into the firmware updates on the Pocket 2, you're going to want to make sure you have the most recent DJI Mimo app, which is version 1.5.8. Make sure you guys download that first before you do the firmware update on the Pocket 2. Now, once you have the Mimo app installed, on the top left of the home screen, you should see a firmware update for the Pocket 2. The firmware is version 01.02.00.50. And the best way to do that firmware update is to have your Pocket 2 with the adapter for your phone, plug it into your phone, it'll automatically launch the Mimo app, and you should be able to do the firmware update from there. And now that your Pocket 2 has been updated, let's quickly go through the list of things that they did update on the release notes for the Pocket 2. Now, the first thing they have here is they added HDR video, which is really cool. I know a lot of people were requesting that one. They added story mode to the touchscreen. They added wireless mic in and earphones out. That's probably the one I'm most excited about because of the fact that you're now able to monitor your audio. Added trim download. Added ability to lock the gimbal when using the mini control stick, increase the time that the gimbal stays on in position, optimize software and anti-interference with the wireless mic, as well as fix some minor bugs. Now, that was just a list of all the things that they updated. Now, in this video, I'm not going to go through all of those things or demo all of them. The stuff that deals with the phone side, the Mimo side, like the stories and the trim download, I want to focus more on the updates that they have on the camera end. So in this video, let's go through some comparisons of the HDR, the microphone edition, as well as those gimbal locks. So the first thing we'll do is go through the HDR comparison. Now, in the menu system, you can now see an HDR video option right below video. Once you swipe over, however, there is a little bit of limited options. You have 2.7 at 24, 25, and 30 frames a second. And you also have 1080p at 24, 25, and 30 frames. You do not have 4K in HDR. So here's a couple samples. The first one here, we have the Pocket 1. This is no HDR, 2.7 upscale to 4K. Here is the Pocket 2 with HDR. As you can tell, definitely a lot of shadows being brought back out. But the one thing I did notice is that there's definitely a big crop in when you're in HDR mode. As you can see here in this side by side, you can see a significant difference with the non-crop version Pocket 1 with the HDR on, and Pocket 2, definitely a big difference there. Now, I know in general HDR works best when you're shooting wider and landscapes, but I did want to see what it looked like when you do something more of a vlog style. And as you can see, it definitely does suffer when you're trying to use it for close-up objects that have a little bit more motion in it. Now, this next update, I'm actually surprised it took this long. If you have the accessory down here at the very bottom that has the wireless transmission accessory and the headphone jack, when you got this out of the box, you weren't able to monitor your audio. So if this was in the field, or if you have this on your talent and you're filming them from behind the camera, you weren't able to monitor their audio. So you couldn't really tell how good or how bad the audio was when they were using it. But finally, with this firmware update, all you have to do is plug in some headphones here. And then, of course, monitor. Now you're able to hear the sound coming from the wireless mics. So it becomes a lot more usable now as more of a production type of purpose and not just as a vlog. As a vlog, you wouldn't really monitor it too much because you wouldn't really have headphones on while you're vlogging with yourself. but now at least you can test it to make sure that one, the audio is still clean and it does work, but two, if you have this doing an interview, if you're doing an interview with somebody, you can now monitor your audio through your headphones. All right, so one of the updates I'm excited about for the Pocket 2 is this right here, the microphone and the earpiece that's attached to this bottom accessory right here. Now, the main reason why I do like it is because I think this is one of the things that a lot of people expected it to do. You expected to be able to use something like this, a headphone, to monitor your audio, and that's just not the way it came out of the box. So all the audio you're hearing right now is actually coming from this mic right here. What I'm gonna do is, of course, sync it up with that video, but you just want to see how it works now, because if you have a separate cameraman or camera shooter and you want them to be able to film you or film somebody and at the same time monitor their audio, they weren't able to do that. Now they finally are, because I can monitor with my headphones through this adapter here at the very bottom, and then my talent can be a little bit down the road. So I'm just gonna have my daughter walk over there just to the middle of the bridge, nothing too crazy, nothing too far away, and just see how the audio is. And I can hear everything coming through the headphones right now, but I do want to see if it's going to break up and where it breaks up, so if it does break up. So go ahead and walk, I don't know, that's probably going to be about, what is that, about maybe 100 feet away?
Hi, my name is Addison Camilo Estacio.
Okay. How old are you?
I am 6 years old.
And what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal is a bunny.
Okay, come on back. And there you go, just a little audio test, and I think that worked exactly what you expected to do. I was able to hear her through my headphones while she's all the way down there. So this is probably one of my favorite updates that they just did on the Pocket 2. Now this next update is the ability to lock the gimbal using that control stick button right here on the right hand side. Now you're actually able to lock it in a specific angle or position. So for instance, if I did this and I recentered it and I moved it up like so, and I use my joystick, now if I press and hold that button next to my joystick, if I press and hold that one just like that, it will now lock it. So even if I move up, down, if I swivel it this way, it will keep that angle as well as the direction in lock. You don't have to keep holding that function button anymore. So if you want to power it on, and when you power it on and you want the camera automatically to start facing you, power it on using the side button right here. So if I power it on just like that, press it on, what it goes through now is a sequence, and now it'll automatically start facing me. So if I want to go straight into vlog mode, I don't have to worry about spinning that camera around. Yes, it does take a split second to do it, but like I said, if you're able to make shortcuts for anything, that's what you always want to do. How can you make it simplified, make it quicker for the user to get up and running? So that's if you wanted it to face you while you powered on. Now, if it is powered off and you want it to start up and face away, all you do is press and power it up with the function button right here on the right. Just press that, and now it'll power up and it'll automatically start facing away. And the last one I want to demo here is that when you power down your camera, it stays in that gimbal lock mode for a few seconds longer. And that's a good update too, because if you guys didn't know, when you power down your Pocket just like that, it will kind of hold it in place. It kind of locks the camera and gimbal in place, but it used to only do that for a few seconds. Now, if you didn't get your camera into your case in time, as you'll see, it doesn't stay there for a long time, but it'll go limp just like that. So now it goes free. So it doesn't hold that lock long enough. So they increase the time that it stays locked so that you're able to power it down, get your case out of your bag or wherever it might be, and then put it in there. So you don't have to worry now about having to touch it, move it around, and put it in your case. It stays locked for a little bit longer. I will do a separate video on more of that story mode. That takes a little bit longer just to kind of go through those things. I want to test it out a little bit more. I like focusing on this right here, which is the camera portion, because I hardly ever hook up my phone to the Pocket and use it like a full production rig. I will normally just use it like this. As always, guys, if you guys got some value from this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos. And also thanks to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video. Make sure you guys check out those links down below in the video description if you want to get your no commitment 30-day free trial of Epidemic Sound. This is Aldrin Estacio with FlytPath.com. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.